Alrighty, thank you, Vicky. Here's a look at today's top stories. In St. Louis, a peaceful day of protest took another destructive turn after nightfall. Well, 122 miles west of Houston, a Texas town declares a state of disaster. Sean and Kristen, you're looking at the driveway that leads up to Patricia Wilson's home. Her and her son Robert were found dead just a day ago. Take a look at this window. This is where fire crews attempted to rescue two men. I'm just waiting for the day that I'm watching a show that everyone else is watching, that I'm watching like the cool show going on, because
I know.
Seriously, this is another one of the shows that people have been telling me to watch.
And that you might eventually start watching,
yeah,
but always like
years.
a few steps behind.
Now, I did get you a little something. Gosh. All right, I did have to eat a few of these.
An opened bag of candy
So just let's see here. Tell me when to stop.
This is fine. No, keep going.
Okay.
Okay, stop.
Okay. We have...
Hope this isn't awkward.
Love you. Breaking this morning, Joseph Jakubowski, the man who was once considered a national threat, has been captured. Police found a baby that was in a stolen vehicle in California. Officials say the baby's mother went to pick up food at a Chipotle and left her newborn inside of a car. Sean and Kristen, good evening. Take a look. This is the driveway leading up to the last home that James Hodgkinson lived in. Vicki, can I be honest with you? When I first was just running through this story, trying to read it real quick, I thought it said brownie knife. The drone's work, though, isn't done just yet. Officials then sent it back in the air to search for evidence.
On Wednesday and Thursday.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but that's a sexy 7-day forecast. That is.
Oh my gosh, you got me so off guard there.
Well, your drive along part of Spring Creek Road may become less congested. Snyder says he was shot around 7 o'clock Saturday night in the 200 block of South Independence Avenue. Snyder says he was shot once in his upper torso and was released from the hospital Saturday afternoon. He says that bullet is still inside of him and that he's just thankful to be alive. It's almost 100 years.
Almost 100
these guys
years. So there's got to be something right about them,
look
right?
At that. Just take a moment there. That is beautiful. Okay, so there's a way to eat these, though, correct?
There is a way to eat them. You can eat them however you like, and don't smush it like...
Thank you, Morgan. Here's a look at today's top stories. It was a very violent night in the city of Rockford as 2 people are now dead after 3 separate shooting scenes across the area. The 2 major shootings took place about 5 miles from one another, one on Sable Drive in the city's northwest side, the other near 4th Street and 16th Avenue on the city's southeast side. And now we begin our coverage this morning at the deadly shooting on Sablewood Drive. Rockford police were called to the street last night at around 9 o'clock for shots fired. When they got there, they say they found a 30-year-old man who'd been shot. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. One eyewitness says he heard around a dozen gunshots there. Evidence was scattered up and down the street. And a 12-year-old boy was shot and killed here in Rockford near 16th Avenue and 4th Street. According to police, they received the call last night at around 7 o'clock. When they arrived on scene, they found the boy suffering from a gunshot wound. He was transported to a hospital where he was also later pronounced dead. The Winnebago County coroner says it appears the victim was on an ATV when he was struck by gunfire. And before these 2 deadly shootings, there was another shooting on a Rockford Housing Authority property that left 1 man injured. Around 5:30 last night, officers were called to Orton Keys for shots fired. When they got there, the address on Ranger Street, they found 1 man had been shot. He is expected to be okay. Detectives are now interviewing him and witnesses, trying to piece together exactly what happened. No word yet on how many shots were fired there, but police say several different bullet shells were found in the parking lot. Police also responded to shots fired at the 300 block of Underwood in Rockford. Police were on scene just before 10 o'clock last night. Details are, of course, still limited at this time, but stick with 13 News for more information as details arise. So again, a very, very violent night last night in the city of Rockford. Here's a quick recap of what we now know. The first shooting was on Ranger Street at Orton Keys Housing, where a man was hurt. The next happened a few hours later around 7:30 at 16th and 4th, where a 12-year-old boy was killed. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. Then another shooting on the 3300 block of Sablewood Drive that also left 1 person dead.
And in Loves Park, it means major detours for drivers on East Riverside.
That's right, but as I found out, many say it's a welcomed fix.
I'm afraid it's going to fall in someday if they don't take care of it.
Melvin Lundstrom has lived next to this bridge since the early 70s. He says it's been an issue from the very beginning.
The bridge should have been replaced a long time ago.
Right in the heart of Loves Park on East Riverside, just east of North 2nd Street, lies this small bridge that even city experts say has been a big headache for years.
It's deteriorated over the years and needs attention.
An estimated 30,000 cars drive on this bridge every day alone. Dan Jacobson, Director of Public Works and Development for Loves Park, says the actual structure of the bridge isn't unsafe. However, the size has caused some problems.
It's striped actually to go down to 2 lanes of traffic, but everyone uses it as 4 lanes, so it gets a little close. When vehicles, especially large trucks.
Even while shooting this story, most cars I saw drive on the bridge did not truly merge like the traffic signs suggest to do. And Melvin says he's seen many cars even crash into the rails because it's too congested. But that will soon change.
We will be widening the new structure, and it will allow actually true 4 lanes.
The City of Loves Park will shut down an entire 1/8 of a mile stretch on Riverside starting sometime in late June. It's all to build a brand new $1.6 million bridge. That construction could last until late fall, meaning no traffic on this busy stretch of road for a couple of months.
It's a regional roadway of significance, so carries traffic throughout the region, and so this is really an important project.
But Melvin says he can deal with a few months of frustration after 4 decades of worry. It's around 1 o'clock, Sunday, June 24th. Fire crews are called to this large vacant building in downtown Rockford. It's the old Hanley Furniture Building. Flames are now shooting from several stories as the blaze quickly grows out of control, and smoke seen from miles away. Rockford Fire is on the scene within minutes. But on this day, they're not just fighting from the ground. Today, they're taking to the sky. This small aircraft doesn't shoot water. It doesn't even spread fire retardant. But this drone does provide key information to commanders on scene.
To check fire conditions, fire hot spots, the stability of the structure, how much of the roof has been intact, and how much is left to burn.
Valuable information that told crews where they needed to point their hoses and from where, without risking lives. In this case, they were worried about the north wall collapsing.
And can make some decisions maybe a little bit faster because now you have a whole 360 view from the top down.
The drone's work, though, isn't done just yet. Officials then sent it back in the air to search for evidence.
In this case, the drone was able to go right up to the windows inside the collapse zone and take pictures. With the roof being burned off, it was able to get down inside the building a little bit and also document the point of origin from that way as well. That's something that an investigator would have never been able to do.
Helping them find more evidence and sooner.
We're just getting started, we're just getting our feet wet.
Fire Lieutenant Trevor Hogan says the department hopes to license more pilots, so if needed, every search and rescue team can be equipped with a drone.
Drones have saved lives, especially in search and rescue attempts.
For your Digging Deeper station, I'm Elliot Grandia, 13 News.